Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what's up? This is your homegirl, Complex Angel, and welcome back to another episode of Self-Love is My Rehab, where we are all tired of abusing our addiction. I'm about to get my partner in crime, DC, on the line so we can start the show. So please, tune in and love yourself. Yo, DC, what's going on?
What's cracking like a Tim Skillet? How you living?
Another day. What was the vibe of the week for you?
Man, listen. Really, low key, it's been cool, calm and collected. I ain't even gonna go as far as saying like it was a rough week or a rough 2 weeks, but at the same time it was. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no self-love right here, my rehab or whatever on 2 consecutive Sundays, which means one after a motherfucking another. But you know, we had to take a break and all those good things, you know. So it was well needed at the same time, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, from a mental standpoint, you know what I'm saying, just to recollect and, you know, start over from scratch, you know what I'm saying, get a fresh start or whatever. But what about you?
That part. Well, we're keeping it complex, huh? So I just got a random thought, all right? Listen, you remember how we was talking about music last season, about the meanings? One thing I didn't realize listening to Dilemma by Nelly, you know the part where he says she got a man in the sun, though? Growing up, I didn't know he was talking about an actual kid. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know that. I thought, like, it was a car or something. And someone just told me the other day, like, let me look up the lyrics to see what he's actually saying. And he's actually talking about a child. But I'm like, the video never showed that. So, yeah, I was today years old when I found out that the girl that he was talking to had a kid, too. Didn't know that. Over here breaking up families and shit.
Right. But, I mean, low-key, I mean, sometimes you can't really, it's hard to interpret what a person's actually saying in the song, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, a part of you is like, I don't give a damn, like, you know what I'm saying, this is my shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just rocking, I'm just vibing with it. So, yeah, nigga, Sundo, Congo, nigga, everything but sun, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to put it in a, you know, in a more formal perspective, he's saying sun, though. You know what I'm saying? But when you put it in, like, you know, that country grammar, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? You put sun, though. Like, that shit sound like a fancy ass car, like $100,000 car or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I feel where you coming from for sure. I think honestly at some point I don't really think I thought that much into it. Like, I thought when I heard Sundo, I thought it was just a car and left it alone, to be honest with you. But I would always say Sundo, not Sundo, but Sundo. Like, I would always say that.
Yeah. Nope, she had an actual kid. Okay, well, you ready to get into the shut me the fuck up topic?
Not really. That's why I was kind of enjoying the vibe of the week, because I ain't ready for this shit. But let's go ahead. The show must go on.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about Heartless tonight. Yes, Complex was backed up. We've been off for 2 weeks. I accidentally scheduled the topics wrong. We were supposed to take the break around Easter time, but we didn't. So that's my fault. And, I was just on vacation last week. I just didn't really feel like being in my feelings. But I'm coming back strong as ever. So you are the guest of honor tonight, DC. So the first question is, when you hear the word Heartless, what comes to mind?
In the night, I hear a song about stories. No, I'm just playing. No,
that was my shit.
Yeah, that was my shit. Can you be so heartless? No, but when I think of Heartless, I think of a term used for an individual who has been through some scarring situations, that has beaten up on their emotions. You know what I'm saying? A person that's fed up and needs to, in a sense, take actions based on, their self-care and their well-being. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a form of action. It's a form of action that a person takes who's been through some shit, you know what I'm saying, and who has not thought about themselves, you know what I'm saying, for long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the aggressive side of a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's right.
If we want to get deeper into it, you know what I'm saying? That's the breaking point of a, you know what I'm saying? That's the final form of just not giving a fuck.
Being fed the fuck up. Cue the cakewalk music.
Fed the fuck up. Yes.
I would definitely say it's somebody who is emotionally numb. I used to think growing up that a person was like literally heartless, like that their heart pumped out like this blue. I mean, like, of course it's blue inside, but like I just thought of it like it's a black heart that just didn't feel nothing, soulless.
Right.
And I'm like, can a person really be heartless? Can a person really not care what other people think? But it's really a person that's emotionally numb, whether it's a people pleaser that finally got their breaking point, or a person who just gives up quickly. You know, like it's easier to push people away. It's easier to turn away from those who don't care about you because you rather hurt them before they hurt you. And that all plays into the fact of damage control. So, yeah, I definitely think it's a person who's just emotional and they don't know how to connect with their feelings. You know, like just being numb is what feels best to them. So
yeah,
that ties into my second question. What causes someone to become numb with their emotions? Let's talk about it.
What causes that? I mean, you know, like I said before, you know, it could be things that, you know, that causes a certain trauma. You know what I'm saying? To, you know, whether it's the death of someone, and you may feel like, you know, I hate to utter the words, but, you know, you may feel like God has forsaken you for, you know, taking someone that you've loved the most. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that could develop some sense of of being heartless, or you know, something that hits more close to home, that's more that does you more physical, you know, harm, or
right.
you know, just utter betrayal. You know what I'm saying? Just because I feel like whatever area that you kind of really get attacked on, you know what I'm saying? If it's personal, you know what I'm saying, or if it hits close to home enough, you know what I'm saying, like that could trigger, you know, a person to become heartless. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it would take more than just one time for it to happen. But yeah, definitely. Because I know for me, for example, like I feel like I don't show as much emotions as I used to, because like because I've had numerous of family members pass away to whom I was close to, you know what I'm saying, or was you know damn near close to, so to speak. And, you know, that's been over the course of between 5 and 10 years or so. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, probably even longer than that. You know what I'm saying? It's been almost in there consecutive, you know what I'm saying, back to back type of thing. And it's like, me personally, I don't, you know, go beyond the limits of blaming God for anything or nothing like that. But it's just like when you're constantly seeing, you know, people that's, you know, in your family passing away, and then you see it in the media too, as, you know, as much as we do now today, you know what I'm saying? Like you become numb with your emotions. I don't want to say necessarily heartless, but it's just like, you know, I mean, this shit happens every day now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might come off as heartless, you know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, I guess maybe you could classify it as heartless too, you know what I'm saying? But, I know for me, it definitely gave me a sign of being heartless in a sense too, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, just having to feel for that shit, you know what I'm saying? Having felt it for numerous of times, like you just don't want to feel that no more. You don't want to feel that type of pain anymore. You know what I'm saying? So now you've, in a sense, by nature and by self, programmed yourself to be heartless, to be numb to those situations. You know what I'm saying? Because like nowadays, like when I do hear like of a person passing, whether it's, you know, a distant family member or, Hell, even celebrities, because like I think like the first celebrity that I really felt like heartbroken about was Tupac, like back in the day, and like I was like fucking like I think I was like 6 or 7, maybe even 8, you know what I'm saying, around that time, you know what I'm saying. That was the only celebrity that I really was just like, you know, damn, you know what I'm saying. So between him and then family members and then like, you know, Nipsey to Pop Smoke to DMX, you know what I'm saying, to Black Rock and Black Rob, I'm sorry, but you know, and various other rap artists, you know what I'm saying, especially ones that I grew up on. It was just like, damn, that's fucked up, but it's like, you know, I'm not necessarily shedding a tear or, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, bumping any music or anything like that like I should, but that's just me just being kind of heartless because it's like, you know, especially with DMX, like I grew up on DMX, you know what I'm saying, like I grew up on that nigga, you know what I'm saying, like he was the one that brought out the aggressive side of a person, you know what I'm saying, besides Little John. Like before Little John there was DMX, that made you want to fight everybody, you know what I'm saying, when you heard his music. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, it all depends on, you know what I'm saying, whatever is closest to you and, you know, you have a bad reaction out of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that can be a result of being heartless. But what about you?
No, I definitely agree with you on that. Death can play a part. I think it also comes from what you were taught growing up. You know, like if you watch your parents or the person that raised you, if you watch how they deal with their emotions, like speaking of it, you know, for example, my grandmother with funerals, you know, I would see her cry the day of. I would see her cry, you know, the day that the accident happened, like, you know, where the person passed. But after the funeral and, you know, after everybody stopped coming over and checking up on you, I would notice her just go back to work, you know what I'm saying? And I would never see her express emotions about that, you know, ever again. Not saying that she didn't. She probably did it behind closed doors, but I never seen her do it again. So, you know, me with funerals, I didn't cry when I found out the person passed. And I used to wonder, like, why can't I? But I told you before, you know, with crying came punishment. You would take a nap. You would get a spanking. So I learned to cry silently because I'm tired of being spanked. And there were times where I got sent to bed and I would be kicking and screaming and crying and nobody came in there to get me. My grandma was like, you just going to cry yourself to sleep. So I'm like, crying doesn't really do shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get you the attention that you want. So I'm going to cry silently. And over time, I picked up on I can't ask somebody for help when shit is getting, you know, getting too hard. And then over time, like, you know, there's another thing that plays into it. When you reach out to someone and they throw that back in your face, you know what I'm saying, to hurt you, or they take advantage of your vulnerability in that point, now you don't know who to trust. Now you don't know who to open up to. I have seen a meme today on Facebook that said, we are so, you know, people who are going through stuff can't even come to people because we're so quick to gossip. You know, we're always quick to run off and tell something. And I played a part in that too. You know, I thought gossiping was the way to go. I thought that was the adult thing to do because it's what I, you know, learned growing up until I ended up hurting someone, a dear friend that I truly cared about. And it took for her to tell me, you know what I'm saying, that really hurt me, for me to want to work on that. Because before it became like second nature. Now, am I perfect? No. I still gossip about celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I still gossip about past things, but I'm learning to catch myself. You know, I ask myself, is it worth it? You get what I'm saying? But I think another thing that makes a person emotionally numb is not being believed in. You know, not having someone to support your dreams when when you're getting older. Like with me, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to do anything that was going to get me in the spotlight. And I was told, oh, come back down to reality. You know, you're only going to get this job. You know, like when I published my first book, I was getting critiqued instead of congratulations. You get what I'm saying? So it just makes you just. And I'm a humble person now, to the point where I feel like if I'm telling somebody about my book, they're going to think that I'm bragging, when I should be proud to brag. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you anything that you do, if you create a book, if you create a clothing design, if you create a business, you should be proud of that, because no one knows the blood, sweat, and tears behind it if they've never done it before. But because I didn't get that support that I needed growing up, it made me a very humble, modest person that just wanted to stay in the shadows and not be seen. And I think that that's what a heartless, emotionally numb person feels like, you know, I don't like feeling emotions at all. But that ties into my third question, because goes to the people pleasers, because you said this is the people pleaser that's fed the fuck up, like Ike, like Tina was in the limo with Ike. You know what I'm saying? She was fed up. So, do you think a person who is still a giver after being hurt so many times, do you think they should inherit some heartless characteristic traits?
I feel like they should. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that's speaking from a people pleaser myself.
Okay.
I mean I developed some sort of, like, you know, a heartless trait that I would consider being, you know, just focusing on myself, you know what I'm saying, having more self-care and, you know, having more self-love and being more aware of my self-value. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started to develop those traits, you know, simply because I had to. You know what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't necessarily by choice. I mean, thank God it was by choice. And, I mean, thank God it was forced and not by choice, really. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we all, in a sense, have a choice to, you know, begin that journey of loving ourselves more. But we get so wrapped up into, you know, non-priority things in life, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, you know, hanging out with friends and, you know, just not being productive enough with life. You know what I'm saying? Investing in this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's you or a business, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, something that, you know, can, you know, bring you extra income. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't built for that growing up. You know what I'm saying? And that can, you know, that stems from our growing, you know, from us growing from our parents or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Us being taught pretty much nothing of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that adult prephood. You know what I'm saying? So when it came down to me actually developing those characteristics, like, you know, it was a tough pill to swallow at first, because, you know, anything you try for the first time is going to always be, you know, a struggle. That first step is always going to be the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, when it came down to, you know, turning down phone calls or, you know, not responding to text messages and shit, it was almost to the point where it was just like, you know, you felt guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel so guilty because of the people pleaser. You like, I feel like I'm disappointing this person every time I do not pick up that phone or I don't respond to a text message. You know what I'm saying? And at a point, it was eating me alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really had me feeling bad, and I felt like I was a terrible person. But the more I kept doing it, the more I kept realizing, like, nigga, you're not doing this to, you know, be a terrible person. You're doing this to be a better person for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to tell myself, like, you know, dude, you're based on the placement in your life right now today, nobody can necessarily help you but you.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? I had to constantly tell myself that every single day. Whenever I felt bad, every time somebody called me and I didn't feel the need to pick up that phone, I had to give myself that same speech every single time. You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, like, it you know what I'm saying, those feelings of, you know, of feeling bad, you know, that shit wore off. You know what I'm saying? Now I would look at the phone, especially like currently, like I'll look at the phone now and just be like, yeah, I'll call y'all later or sometime later on in the week. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, I don't even be having to do shit. If I just don't feel the need that I don't want to have a conversation, then that's just my personal opinion, because I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my me time. If you're not a part of that, don't take it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my fucking me time. You know what I'm saying? I get to you when I get to you. You know what I'm saying? We're not obligated to tend to people like we normalize. You know what I'm saying? Or like how certain people normalize. And like you think you should. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely, you know, I would recommend it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's a people pleaser. Some people are actually born naturally just able to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it easier when, you know, when the point gets across on the receiver's end, who's, you know, receiving your quote unquote heartlessness. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing about it is for them to understand that you're not going to be as available as you used to anymore. They have to grow with the times, just like how you decided to grow with the time. You know what I'm saying? We're not just sitting around just playing on a video game or just watching TV or just, just doing meaningless shit anymore. Like, we really trying to get shit together in life right now.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think a giver should definitely, after being hurt so many times, inherit some heartless characteristic traits. Like, be selfish. I want to get to a point where I can normalize not having to explain myself. Instead of having to explain, I didn't answer the phone because this and this and this is going. I just didn't feel like it. And I think that we should be entitled, to normalize that, to not have to explain ourselves. I know me, I am a giver. Like, I've been told my whole life, like, Tasha, everything that you've been put through, not once have you changed. And, it was because I was always taught growing up, treat people like how you want to be treated. And, I would say, okay, I want to go heartless because I'm tired of being hurt. People would tell me, no, don't change who you are. But I'm noticing that I get to a point of not caring when I've been pushed to a certain point. But my frustration is that I wish that breaking point would come quicker than I allowed it to. Like, I watched my mom stay in relationships for like 5+ years, not being happy. And then I watched her get out of that, be single for like 2 months, and then back into the next relationship. Like sitting with herself and being alone was hard for her to do. And it was something that I picked up on. And it's like I wouldn't stay in it for 5+ years, but I'm a person that loves hard. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So you get everything up front. So, when you're giving everything up front, that type of love hits hard. When they say don't fuck with somebody that listens to 90s R&B because they love is different, that they was talking about me, baby. They was talking about me. I love, yes, I love so hard to the point where like a year or 2 years or 3 years makes me feel like dog, like it was a lifetime. And I hate to say that. You get what I'm saying? But I just wish that I was that strong one that just could be able to, just tell somebody, I don't like the way you make me feel, good life. I have a hard time cutting ties, but I think that it's very important for anyone to be selfish. But you have to basically unlearn all of the guilt tripping that your family may do, that your friends may do, because the fact that we feel so bad for not answering the phone is because that person that we feel guilty about it for has been a person that made it about them. Oh, well, did I do something to make you mad? You acting funny. Like those are the people, or maybe like we've had so many people do it, so we kind of just think that everybody's going to take it that way. You get what I'm saying? Because there have been times where I projected how others have treated me. Oh, this person's going to be the same way. But we should get to a point where people should just understand, it has nothing to do with you. And if it has something to do with you, I'm pretty sure that person will not have a problem coming to tell you. You get what I'm saying? And if you are one of the people that, if you're one of the reasons why they had to distance themselves, understand that you're the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Understand that people grow up and grow apart. But I definitely think that we should inherit, some selfish, heartless characteristic traits before you lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm going to say it like I said the other day, be as stubborn with your boundaries as you are when you choose self-sabotaging over self-care. Like, seriously, start taking yourself serious so everybody else out there can take you serious. So my last question is, how heartless can you be, DC, after getting hurt?
I mean, shit, this is simply just pretending you don't exist. Real shit. I mean, honestly, I'll give you a funny one, and this is to the listeners for it was more so for the listeners than for you because you already know the situation. But so it was my kid's birthday party, and the lady that I was with at the time, I'm grown now, so I'm gonna say lady. The lady that I was with at the time, you know what I'm saying, she was around for a very long time, so my daughter was acquainted with her. And yeah, she basically wasn't, she was there, but she wasn't there, like type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I don't have to elaborate that too much for everybody. You should be able to understand that. But I was letting it slide for most of the day because I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pressure her to do anything. But, you know what I'm saying, if she really, if she's going to play the girlfriend thing, then it's like, it shouldn't be certain things that you have to ask of them, you know what I'm saying, on this particular, occasion. You know what I'm saying? The day was going by, and I just noticed I was doing every goddamn thing by myself. And it took for her to ask me, you need help with anything? I'm like, nope, not at all. Fuck you. Fuck you. And, like, it started to escalate a little bit. And thank God it was towards, like, the end of the damn party. Because when I say I grabbed, not my child or anything else, I grabbed the goddamn cake and I walked the fuck out that bitch. When I say I was looking like Statue of Liberty with that motherfucking cake and had the straightest goddamn face and walked past everybody and did not notice nobody, it was the most epic shit ever. Complex to tell you, she was like, damn, like I really wanted a piece of that cake. And like,
I was standing there holding my plate like, damn. Yep, I had my plate and fork ready. Like, I guess I'm not getting no cake.
It's the funniest shit ever today, but back then, like, I swear to God, like I was at that breaking point where I was just like, yeah, the heartless mode kicked in quick as fuck. I was like, you know what? I don't care what nobody thinks right now. It's just me and this cake. Come on, cake, and we just walked about this. But yeah, I mean, you hate to get to that point. Honestly, you really do. You know what I'm saying? In any case, you know what I'm saying? Not even just with that scenario, but just in any case, you would hate to have to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? You can't just allow people to walk over you or just be naive to certain shit. You gotta. I think for me that was just a self-worth value, so to speak, or however you want to put that. That was just me just realizing that, like, nigga, like, it wasn't even just me taking it personally for the fact, like, this is my kid's birthday party, and it's like you're more than just a guest here. You're not just like everybody else here at the establishment right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're up here, like they're in the middle, but you're up there, like where we're at. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you'd rather be down there. And then, like, when shit's over, like, you ready to be girlfriend again. And it's like, nah, like, I'm cool with that.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah,
well,
my cake walk was the most heartless shit I've ever did.
Oh, Jesus. For me, I would say the most heartless I was after the 3-year relationship. That was the one where I cheated to just because I wanted to make myself feel better. And I'm not even justifying it, but just because I wanted to make myself feel better. And I had no remorse afterwards, and I was just like, yeah, I think it's time to break up. And I started looking for apartments, and I just started talking to other niggas, And, I came out and told him, like, we're not getting back together because, just basically doing me. I've already started talking to other guys. Whole fucking scene flip. I'm talking about a person that couldn't express himself, showed every emotion in the book, and it just threw me off guard. Like, where the fuck was this person at in the relationship? It took for me to be a savage to get you to express what I've been wanting you to express. But I would say, though, honestly, like, I'm not a person that can be heartless. I mean, like, people look at me like, Tasha, you are a different type of breed. What the fuck is wrong with you? People want to shake me up and everything, but I just feel like I see it as a blessing. you know what I'm saying, to still be able to be a lover and be a giver, but I'm at a place now where I know who I want to be a giver to. I want to reciprocate to those who have reciprocated to me. I'm at a place now where it's like, okay, you know what, I can't deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to still pray for you. I'm going to still wish you the best luck, and I'm going to still root for you on the sideline. But I can't have you in my space up close. You get what I'm saying? And
right.
I feel like that's just me. Like that's who I have to embrace. I'm an understanding person. I've always been a lover, not a fighter. You get what I'm saying? I fight for what I love, but I'm reevaluating what makes me happy and what is it that I love, because I've been doing for others. So I'm really trying to figure out what it is that makes me happy and what it is that gives me passion. You get what I'm saying? So that I can know what my love languages are, you know, for friendships. You know, I can just know my boundaries, period. So, like, I'm not I can't be a heartless person. I don't know. Like, I can be a savage, but at the same time, I will feel bad after a while. Like, I can't just sit up there. Okay, I'm like Tasha off of Insecure when she was like, I got to go back in the house, start cooking, and Lauren started walking up. You hungry? That's me. That is me. Like, you hungry? Like, I still care. But it's like, you know, I mean, but I see how far I've come, you know, just me being like this, because I feel like anybody that you burn bridges with, it's like the movie Crash. You're going to, somewhere in life, you're going to come back around where you have to either bless that person or they got to bless you. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies are in alignment with us, and there's going to be a day where we have to, you know what I'm saying, humble ourselves and help them. Like, you remember the cop that felt her up, and then at the end, it was up to him to save her. Are you gonna put your pride to the side and let me save you, or are you gonna hold on to that? Like, I just refuse to hold on to any anger. I just want to release it because that shit hinders me. Yeah, that's my take on it. That was a good segment. Wasn't too bad.
Whatever.
Are you well, are you ready to get into the stimulate your mind?
Fuck it.
Drop it, DC.
All right, shit. Damn, it's been 2 motherfucking weeks. Okay. Let's stimulate that mind coverage.
So, my question tonight is, I think this is shout out to Ace Metaphor. Let's talk card game, because DC said a question that I had sounded too similar to an old one. So, here we go. When it comes to dating, do you prefer to go with the flow or label and define things?
Ooh. Damn. I would definitely go with label and define.
Okay.
I would definitely say that, because when you're going with the flow of shit, I don't know, that just doesn't seem, I mean, it's organic, you know what I'm saying? You go with the flow of things, like, you know, it's like playing chess. You make a move, they make a move type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But in this day and age, like, you gotta label shit. Like, you gotta come in, you know what I'm saying, expressing your expectations and what you're looking for, and you know what I'm saying. Same goes for the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you. I don't know, because I mean, like, for me, like, I've tried going with the flow of things, and I don't think people know how to necessarily go with the flow of things. Like, I feel like they want to go with the flow of things, but just don't necessarily know how to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had those moments where, you know, I would break up with someone and then get back with them and say, you know, hey, we just going with the flow type of shit. And it's like, well, what is the flow, my nigga? Like, what are we doing? Like, you know, it's like, are we together or are we not? Like, what we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's more easier and more stable for you to know, you know, who you're dealing with, and, you know what I'm saying, what their expectations are. So that way, you know, you can be able to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing you want to do is get into some sort of engagement with someone, and you move in a certain way, and they're just not prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a situation before where I basically laid everything out on the table as far as what I wanted and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that person didn't decline it, you know what I'm saying? But I guess at the same time, they didn't accept it either. I just took it as, you know, well, if you didn't decline it, then obviously you must be for it, so I'm gonna just continue to move forward, type of thing. But that's where it gets fucked up at, because, you know what I'm saying, if a person doesn't halt you, you know, at how you're moving, you know, as far as like, you know, progressing and stuff like that, you're just gonna assume that, you know, to keep, you know, putting in effort and stuff like that. And as you're doing this, you don't realize that they're not putting in the same effort as you. You know what I'm saying? Like you've enabled yourself to be the people pleaser, being the enabler, you know what I'm saying, being the lover that you are. You know what I'm saying? You enable all of that, and you're pouring all that into this person who don't necessarily want that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would definitely go with label and define, because, you know, at least when you go to do these things, you know that, you know, that's what they signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if you hear the same things come out their mouth as what they, you know, as far as what they want, you know what I'm saying, whether it's, you know, just something casual or, you know, something long term, you know what I'm saying, it'll be better for you based on how you should move. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like when I started, you know, doing casual dating, or, you know, something that could be potentially long term and shit like that, you know, I expressed a lot of things as far as like, you know, where I'm at right now in life and, you know, everything and so forth. And, you know, I give them an opportunity to decide how they want to operate with me at that point.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Instead of just, you know, going tit for tat, you know, or quote unquote going with the flow type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go with the flow, you're capable of hiding anything and everything, because it's like, hey, we're going with the flow. I ain't think this is going to be that serious. You know what I'm saying? So
that part.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
When it comes to dating, I think it all depends on the time frame. I'm looking at dating from a whole different perspective now. I actually would like to go with the flow for like the first 6 to 8 dates, because I really want to get to know this person first. I don't want to label or define anything, because I've moved too fast before and ended up with a crazy ass nigga that was very insecure. So I really want to like let it flow, assess things. Pastor Mike Todd said it before. You know, whenever we go on dates, well, he said some of you will go on dates and then you would just be so happy, thinking like, oh my God, like, you know, you start thinking about the wedding right after that first date, and you didn't even sit to assess it, to think about how that person made you feel, good or bad. You know, like you got to really sit there and even question, are they worth that second interview? Like he was really speaking some shit. So I want to, you know, flow and everything like that. Just to see, like, if you're compatible with me, if you want the same things that I want. Because when you label and define too fast, I learned when you move fast, it's going to end fast. You know, it's going to end fast. Like, you really got to get to know a person, because you got to get past the first impression. You know, like, people will say what they need to say. You got to get past the assholes. You got to get past the gold diggers, the fuck boys. So I would want to let it flow first, but then like, okay, now I'm feeling you. What are we doing? And if you just hemming and hawing, all right, move out the way. You can't block the doorway for the person that's supposed to come and love me the way I deserve to be loved. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that is my take on it. Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't look at it. I didn't look at it that way. Yeah, because I mean, now that you laid it out that way, it kind of makes me feel like shit that I want to label and define things. Because I mean, like when you,
I was trying to make you feel like
hear
shit.
me out though. Because it's like when you, because I didn't think when it came to terms of label and defining would mean that you were labeling in defining things like right away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you do want to go, you know, you want to take it step by step, you know what I'm saying? So you do know who you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, like, in this day and age of dating, that's exactly how I, you know, see things as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I have had, you know, those particular moments where, you know, things did start to move fast on both ends, you know, in separate occasions and shit like that. And of course it did end fast, you know what I'm saying? Obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't think that, you know, that labeling defining things was also an interpretation of moving fast though. But I don't know. Like,
well, no,
I mean, honestly,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, like, for me, because I wanted the label right then and there. Like, after, like, 2 or 3 weeks, what are we doing? I'm saying that I want to let it flow to really get to know a person because I move too fast. I'm saying it all depends on the time frame for me. But the end goal is still to label and define. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, like, when I was, the way I was thinking of it is, you know what I'm saying, like, labeling defining can have various stages. You know what I'm saying? You're labeling the fact that you're getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're labeling the fact that, you know, like, after you get to know this person, like, you're labeling the fact that, you know, that you're willing to give this person a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to this labeling defining thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it comes to just, like, you know, the friendship first and foremost should be the first thing that should be labeled. You know, you should be labeled as friends first and foremost. You're getting to know each other as friends. You know what I'm saying? Find all those things that you have in common and everything like that and so forth. And then, you know, as that progresses, then, you know, that's where you're, you know, enabling, you know, certain feelings based on how, you know, that stage kicks off. And then, you know, so forth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I kind of look at it. That's why I said, you know, labeling defining things would be kind of like my go-to because, like, you know, because I would definitely prefer the step-by-step basis type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But it, like you said too, as well, it all depends on the time frame and, you know, honestly, the person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that whole friendship stage that has to last damn near just as long as you know, the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like that has to be the longest stage that you have. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to learn how that person operates before, you know, feelings get involved. You know what I'm saying? On both of them. You know, so
that part.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying on that, though.
All right. Well, let's get into shout-outs and appreciation. What you got for us, DC?
Well, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to our 2-week vacation, motherfucker. Shit. Shout out to Self-Love as my rehab as well, because without it, this wouldn't have been a therapeutic experience for me to be able to become a better person on a daily basis. It has really stuck with me, and it has really been able to sustain my sanity and my sobriety. You know what I'm saying? So big shout outs to Self-Love as my rehab. Shout out to you, Complex, because without you, it wouldn't be possible. And shout out to God, and without him, it wouldn't be no Complex, it wouldn't be no DC, it wouldn't be no Self-Love as my rehab. Shout out to Dynamic Culture Apparel. That's my baby. Don't play with it. The definition of nothing is something. Leveling up while loving yourself at the same damn time. The swag is dynamic. The self-love is dynamic. I am dynamic. You feel me? If you guys want to follow my page, I've been noticing that I've been getting a lot of support, you know what I'm saying, ever since I've been, you know, kind of promoting it on Self-Love is my rehab. So I do appreciate everyone who has taken notice of it and, you know, liking and following the page. So if you guys want to further, you know, spread the word about the dynamic movement, you know what I'm saying, dynamic culture, you can follow it on Instagram at dynamic_culture_apparel, or you can follow it on Facebook as well as at Dynamic Culture Apparel. And shout out to all my loved ones with positive vibes and positive energy. And shout out to all my negative Nancys and my Karens with negative vibes and negative energies. We still love you at the end of the day. We just waiting for you to catch up. Mustard.
All right, so I'm going to shout out Maui the writer. I'm actually going to see her tonight at the Pandemic Poetry event out in Philly. I can't wait. I know she's about to get me together like she do on the podcast and her book. So I may be crying some real tears tonight driving home, but it's going to be real. Shout out to my book, No Apologies. That's at the platform for Self-Love is My Rehab and Queens with Vibes and Visions. Out of Darkness is coming this June. Trust me, this shit is about to really, really kick some people's asses because it kicks my ass. But I'm very proud of it. I'm like 85% content with the work. Only 85% because once I edit and proofread it, then I could be 99.9% ready to go publish. So, yeah, it's coming out this June. Please look out for it. I'm even trying to get my website off the ground this year, and I'm really trying to take my brand seriously and start branding myself. So be patient with me because I'm about to go to work, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what this year has in store for me. And also shout out to God because without him, I would not have a close relationship with myself. So, all right, DC, with that being said, I'm going to let you get into the what you know about that.
All right, so the what you know about that topic is a special request from yours truly, Complex. We are going to talk about some recent current events in regards to the George Floyd verdict and forgive me if I say her name wrong, the Ma'Khia Bryant case. So as you all may know, on the good news part of it, you know what I'm saying, David Chauvin, he was convicted and he was sentenced for the most part. I believe he was finally sentenced or whatever, or he's been announced guilty, so to speak, for the killing of George Floyd. So that was a big ups for, you know, for the justice in the black community. That was really, you know, heartwarming to see, you know what I'm saying, for his family to get justice and everything like that. But, you know, in the other news, Ma'Khia Bryant, she was fatally shot by an officer who was reported on the scene and, you know, approached the altercation and fatally shot her. There's some controversy behind this one, though. And there's two sides to this story. And, you know, I will speak for me and Complex. We're not saying that it was right for him to do what he did, but at the same time, you know, it could have been de-escalated a lot better than what it was, you know what I'm saying, because there's been multiple situations, you know what I'm saying, regardless if it was a white or, you know, black individual, you know what I'm saying, there was, you know, incidents where there were white people who were, you know, waving objects, whether it was knives or, you know, 2x4s, tires, whatever the fuck you want it to be, you know what I'm saying, they were waving it and, you know, intimidating these officers and stuff like that, and they damn near got touched. You know what I'm saying? So my take on it personally, you know, she did have a knife. She was definitely, you know, armed and dangerous. She was. There's multiple ways that this could have been de-escalated. She did not have to die for it. In my personal opinion, she didn't have to die for it. Because like I said, we've seen multiple, you know, video footage of Caucasians, you know, being armed and dangerous, you know, like I said, regardless of what the object may be, you know what I'm saying? I think during the riots earlier, was it earlier this year or was it? I think it was sometime last year where the guy had he had an assault rifle or something like that, and he was walking towards the cops with his hands up, and people were shouting out that he had killed people and stuff like that, and they did nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see him as a threat then. You know what I'm saying? So I just hate that, you know, it's such a defined line between, you know, white justice and black justice, or, you know what I'm saying, like this brutality, you know, against cops, you know, to where it's sickening. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't hear about it as much, you know, as, you know, a officer gunning down, you know, a white person, you know, for the smallest things. You know what I'm saying? We can go as far as back with Trayvon Martin.
just leaving the corner store, with a bag of Skittles in an Arizona, or saying whatever can of juice he had. But my point is, they're so quick to shoot and kill us because we're labeled and we're looked at as dangerous, regardless of what we have, or it's just the fact that the color of our skin is what defines us as armed and dangerous alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen a video clip the other day, actually, where this kid, he was videotaping the Metropolitan Police, and they were trying to tell him to bag up and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna kill me like you did Ma'Khia?" And then I think it was a black cop too, actually. He was like, "Well, are you gonna stab somebody like she did?" And I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like y'all really like that in the police department, you know what I'm saying? And this is not a knockoff, this is not a knock to every officer, you know what I'm saying? There are some good ones, but there's a high percentage of bad ones out there that make the good ones look bad. You know what I'm saying? You can't point out a good cop because y'all all look the same. The only way we can judge if you're a good one or not is if I can make it away alive.
That part. Well, my take on it is, I really feel like they could have de-escalated it by, like, tasering her to slow her down. I just feel like the same tactics that you use for a white person or any other color should be used for African Americans too. But the way we're seen in society is we're seen as the aggressive, and I just feel like a lot of cops are scared, so they feel like they have to be ready to kill first. And I feel like if you're scared, you should pick another fucking occupation, because the same day we get glory for George Floyd, for the cop to be found guilty on all 3 counts and how he just looked so confused. It's like a part of me was happy, but a part of me had mixed feelings, because I'm like, okay, are they going to let him appeal? I started thinking about, like, okay, are the white people out here about to start, being happy triggered and start shooting niggas because they're mad that one of theirs is going to prison and being used as an example? And another thing made me feel like, did we get this justice because he was killed right in front of the on camera? The guy had no type of remorse, because I was told by someone else that was watching the trial that the judge, I guess, was trying to get the person, I think, that recorded, or the person that did that examined the body. They was asking, so you're trying to say that his health complications had nothing to do with this? And they was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything had to do with the knee and the neck. Like, they kept trying to get them to change their mind to the point where I guess the judge felt like, well, damn, nigga, I can't save your ass because you did this. And it just makes me think, are cops going to have, are they going to start making it to where they can get away with it next time, and that they won't, be seen? Because the same day that happened, that girl got shot, and I just feel like, okay, she was about to stab the person, but no one deserves to have their life taken away. Like, I never understood war. We over here killing people, and at the end of the day, people are coming back home with PTSD and taking these pills, and they got all these freaking health problems just to put money back into the fucking United States of America. That fucks us over every day. Like, we don't get justice anywhere when it comes to the medical field, when it comes to the welfare assistance. We don't get any type of justice. Like, even coming home as a veteran, as a black person, but, it's like I fought for this country, and I still don't get, the same type of treatment like the other people do, like my white counterparts do. Breonna Taylor worked for the fucking police station. We still haven't got justice for her. We still haven't got justice for Sandra Bland. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy, but we have so much more. We have a long way to go, and that's my take on it. To quickly
piggyback on what you were saying, as far as like with the veterans and stuff like that. Look at that one sergeant who was pepper sprayed on video. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he was trying to tell them that his dog was choking or something like that, and he's like, please, it's my dog. Like, please, let me just help my dog. He's like, they just kept yelling, get out the car, and as he's trying to get out the car, like they pepper spraying him, and he couldn't get his belt buckle off. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't fucking see. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And this is how you treat someone that fought for the country. You know what I'm saying? Because of the color of the skin. It's fucked up.
That part. All right, then. DC, close us out with the dynamic culture quote.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sorry to end that with such a mixed emotion fucking segment, but it's something that we have to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we need to be aware of, and not live in this this fairy tale simulated world that we like to live in, to escape reality. But at the end of the day, this is what it is. So hopefully this dynamic quote, this dynamic culture quote, more so a inspiration for today. Hopefully y'all can take this and, hopefully this can be something a little lighter for you to ponder on. And the dynamic culture quote / inspiration is, it's waiting. That job, that relationship, that money, that happiness, that strength. We all need a reminder from time to time to let us know that whatever we want in life is ours, as long as we take the time to initiate to get it. So always set a game plan for yourself on a day-to-day basis, because you just never know when your last day is up. Never to sound depressing about it. Just be grateful that you are able to wake up and that you are able, at the end of the day, to be able to lay in the comforts of your own home and to be able to sleep it off and, wake up and do it all again tomorrow. That's what we live for. So whatever goals you got, reach them. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow ain't promised to us. As you can see how the world is, evolving into this crazy shit. This is the time for us, especially, the black community, to really, get it together. You know what I'm saying? Money, cars, bitches, and hoes, that's not where it's at no more. So let's just start investing in our time and energy into, getting business and, reoccurring money in our own pockets. You know what I'm saying? Be able to better help our community. Shit, sometimes it'll be nice to see a black family under a white picket fence. You feel me? So, with that being said, live life, love on yourself, love on your, your loved ones, and peace and love. We are out.
Peace and love, y'all.